was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I suppose, when we heard a radio call about a boat that had capsized off of Nunez Point. And Ryan and I looked at each other and said, "Isn't that just around the corner?" And Ryan says, "I believe it is," and because we probably should go do something about it or check it out. My name is Galen Loney. I'm with Burlow Construction, and this is my boat, the Codfather 2.
I'm Ryan Morin. I'm a lodge owner operator and charter boat captain in Southeast Alaska.
Oh, we'd been fishing all day, and it was a little rough around the corners, so we tucked in around the point at Shacken, and it was smoother water there, and we were catching silvers, kings, pinks. We were having a great day of fishing, actually, but it was a little windy around the outside. So I don't know, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I suppose, when we heard a radio call about a boat that had capsized off of Nunez Point. And Ryan and I looked at each other and said, "Isn't that just around the corner?" And Ryan says, "I believe it is," and because we probably should go do something about it or check it out. And so we threw our fishing gear on the floor and had everybody sit in their chairs, and Ryan throttled it up and off we went.
As we approached the site, we saw a vessel turned upside down and a life raft with 5 heads in it bobbing up and down in the waves. And their life raft was not drifting away from the vessel. It was still tethered, and they were stuck. And there was a lot of floating debris around them, their nets and their skiffs and stuff. And we were able to maneuver ourselves in such a way that we could get up through the floating debris. And as we approached them, Galen threw them a life ring so that we could tow them away from the debris. At that time, they were still tethered to the sinking vessel, and they had no knife to cut themselves free, so we couldn't tow them away. They quickly realized they had a flare that was lit, and they burned the tether, and we were able to tug them away to where we could take them on board. And because of the design of the vessel, it made it a very simple operation. We have side doors, and we were able to bring them on the downswell protected side of the boat and help them aboard.
And I just held on. Another guy tethered the line to a cleat just so we wouldn't lose it. And we were pulling away from the boat, trying to pull them slow enough that we didn't submarine the front of the life raft, because again, it was fairly rough and those waves were rolling in there quite a bit. And we got them about 75 feet from their vessel, and they lost hold of the life ring, and then Ryan repositioned us above them, and then we threw them the ring again. They got a hold of it, and as we pulled them towards the boat, they started swinging under our bow, so Ryan hit the bow thruster, kicked the front end of the starboard side, and we were able to pull them down the side of the boat to the back door and open the back door. And when they got there, I was able to reach over, grab the life raft, hang on to it, and we told them, "You need to get in the boat now." And the 4 younger guys scrambled in, and I had several of my superintendents with me, and they were helping the guys into the boat. And then the captain was probably in his mid-70s, and he was pretty well spent. In about 15 minutes in that cold water, he was just sitting there, and I looked at him and said, "You need to move now. We're not coming in the raft after you. You need to move." And he all of a sudden kind of woke up, scrambled over, we pulled him in the boat, and then we cut the life raft loose and just pushed it away from the boat so we didn't get it caught up in the propellers. They'd been in the water about 15 minutes. They were pretty cold. They had no life jackets. They didn't have anything warm in that raft, and the waves were holding them up against the hull, so they're kind of getting pounded against the hull. I don't know how much longer they would have lasted in there. Ryan, I think, had told me that there had been 2 other commercial seiners go down in that same vicinity over the last 20 years, and none of the other crews have survived.
The systems on the boat play a big part in your ability to do something like that. The ability to control the boat in those confused seas precisely, to pick our way through the semi-submerged net, and there were ropes and other debris still attached to the boat that were between us and them, and we had to maneuver through that stuff. So when you have a tool like the Seakeeper that's keeping the boat stable so you're not getting all tossed around, you're able to just focus on your steerage and the kind of control systems that we have. We can very precisely got in there and very smoothly retrieve them in a safe way. You know?
The bow thruster was very valuable because we didn't have to try to use the engines to push the bow around so that they didn't get sucked up around the bow. All we had to do is point, and Ryan would hit the bow thruster and kick it the direction we needed to kick so that we could pull them down the side. And then being able to pull down the side, there were three of us pulling on the rope at that point, just trying to guide it, keep them from smashing into the side of the boat. And Ryan put us up swell, so the boat was breaking the bigger waves. And with the Seakeeper, it was very stable. At no point did I feel like I was getting tossed around or that I had any fear of going over the side.
Just proud that we had the equipment and the right people and the right skills and experience to handle that situation quickly and get them safely home.
I think the platform, with this entire platform, this entire boat, was built for comfort and fishing and safety, being out on big water. And all of that played into why those guys were saved and why it was, in some sense, that easy for us to come in and get them, because it wasn't an easy situation. But it was the right boat, the right boat operator, the right people on deck, and it still just makes me smile to think about it. Any day it makes me smile.
Just happy that we were able to be there for them, and it makes you wonder about life some days. Some things are just meant to be, the timing of things, Had Galen not had this boat built, had we, and had we not chose to go to that fishing spot that day, there's so many things that had to go just right for us to be there at the right time.